Clouded leopard. The clouded leopard, Neofelis nebulosa, is a wild cat occurring from the Himalayan foothills through mainland Southeast Asia into southern China. Since 2008, it is listed as vulnerable on the IUCN Red List. Its total population is suspected to be fewer than 10,000 mature individuals, with a decreasing population trend, and no single population numbering more than 1,000 adults. It is also called mainland clouded leopard to distinguish it from the Sunda clouded leopard, and Diarty. It is the state animal of the Indian state of Meghalaya. Taxonomy and phylogeny. Felis nebulosa was proposed by Edward Griffith in 1821, who first described a clouded leopard skin from China. Felis macroceloide, proposed by Brian Houghton Hodgson in 1841, was a clouded leopard specimen from Nepal. Felis brachyura, proposed by Robert Swinhoe in 1862, is a clouded leopard skin from Taiwan. The generic name Neofelis was proposed by John Edward Gray in 1867, who subordinated all three to this genus. At present, N. nebulosa is considered a monotypic species due to lack of evidence for subspeciation. Phylogeny. The clouded leopard is considered to form an evolutionary link between the Pantherinae and the Felinae. It is the smallest of the pantherine cats, but despite its name, it is not closely related to the leopard, Panthera. Phylogenetic analysis indicates that it diverged from the Panthera about 6 million years ago. The other Neofelis species is the Sunda clouded leopard, which was considered a subspecies of N. nebulosa until 2006. Genetic analysis of hair samples of the two Neofelis species indicates that they diverged 1.4 million years ago. Clouded leopards from mainland Asia reached Borneo and Sumatra several million years ago via a now submerged land bridge. Characteristics. The clouded leopard's fur is of a dark gray or ochreous ground color, often largely obliterated by black and dark dusky gray blotched pattern. There are black spots on the head, and the ears are black. Partly fused or broken up stripes run from the corner of the eyes over the cheek, from the corner of the mouth to the neck, and along the nape to the shoulders. Elongated blotches continue down the spine and form a single median stripe on the loins. Two large blotches of dark dusky gray hair on the side of the shoulders are each emphasized posteriorly by a dark stripe, which passes onto the foreleg and breaks up into irregular spots. The flanks are marked by dark dusky gray irregular blotches bordered behind by long, oblique, irregularly curved or looped stripes. These blotches yielding the clouded pattern suggest the English name of the cat. The underparts and legs are spotted, and the tail is marked by large, irregular, paired spots. Its legs are short and stout, and paws broad. Females are slightly smaller than males. Its hyoid bone is ossified, making it possible to purr. Its pupils contract into vertical slits. Irises are brownish yellow to grayish green. Melanistic clouded leopards are uncommon. It has rather short limbs compared to the other big cats. Its hind limbs are longer than its front limbs to allow for increased jumping and leaping capabilities. Its ulnae and radii are not fused, which also contributes to a greater range of motion when climbing trees and stalking prey. Clouded leopards weigh between 11.5 and 23 kilograms, 25 and 51 pounds. Females vary in head to body length from 68.6 to 94 centimeters, 27.0 to 37.0 in, with a tail 61 to 82 centimeters, 24 to 32 in, long. Males are larger at 81 to 108 centimeters, 32 to 43 in, with a tail 74 to 91 centimeters, 29 to 36 in, long. Its shoulder height varies from 50 to 55 centimeters, 20 to 22 in. Its skull is long and low with strong occipital and sagittal crests. The canine teeth are exceptionally long, the upper being about 3 times as long as the basal width of the socket. The first premolar is usually absent. The upper pair of canines measure 4 centimeters, 1.6 in, or longer. The clouded leopard is often referred to as a modern-day saber-tooth because it has the largest canines in proportion to its body size. Distribution and habitat. The clouded leopard occurs from the Himalayan foothills in Nepal, Bhutan and India to Myanmar, southeastern Bangladesh, Thailand, peninsular Malaysia, to south of the Yangtze River in China. It is regionally extinct in Singapore and Taiwan. The last confirmed record of a Formosan clouded leopard dates to 1989, when the skin of a young individual was found in the Taroko area. It was not recorded during an extensive camera trapping survey conducted from 1997 to 2012 in more than 1,450 sites inside and outside Taiwanese protected areas. In Nepal, the clouded leopard was thought to be extinct since the late 1860s. But in 1987 and 1988, 4 individuals were found in the central part of the country, close to Chitwan National Park and in the Pokhara Valley. These findings extended the known range westward, suggesting it is able to survive and breed in degraded woodlands that previously harbored moist subtropical semi-deciduous forest. Since then, individuals have been recorded in the Shivapuri Nagarjun National Park and in the Annapurna Conservation Area. In India, it occurs in Sikkim, northern West Bengal, Meghalaya subtropical forests, Tripura, Mizoram, Manipur, Assam, Nagaland, and Arunachal Pradesh. In Paki Tiger Reserve, a clouded leopard was photographed for the first time in India. In Sikkim, clouded leopards were camera-trapped at altitudes of 2,500 to 3,720 meters, 8,200 to 12,200 feet, between April 2008 and May 2010 in the Kangchenjunga Biosphere Reserve. In Manas National Park, 16 individuals were recorded during a survey in November 2010 to February 2011. Between January 2013 and March 2018, clouded leopards were also recorded in Dampa Tiger Reserve, Eaglenest Wildlife Sanctuary and Singchurung Bugan Village Community Reserve, in Meghalaya's Nonkilam National Park and Balpakram Bagmara Landscape. In Bhutan, it was recorded in Royal Manas National Park, Jigme Singye Wangchuk National Park, Thibsi Wildlife Sanctuary, Jigme Dorji National Park, Frumsengla National Park, Bumdaling Wildlife Sanctuary, and several non-protected areas. In Bangladesh, a few clouded leopards were sighted in the Chittagong Hill Tracts in 2009. In Myanmar, it was recorded by camera traps for the first time in the hill forests of Karen State in 2015. In Thailand, the species has been reported from relatively open, dry tropical forest in Waikakayang Wildlife Sanctuary and closed forest habitats in Khao Yai National Park. In peninsular Malaysia, clouded leopards were recorded in Taman Negara National Park, Ulu Muda Forest, Paso Forest Reserve, Royal Belum State Park, Temenggor Forest Reserve and a few linkages between 2009 and 2015. Behavior and ecology. The clouded leopard is a solitary cat. Early accounts depict it as a rare, secretive, arboreal, and nocturnal inhabitant of dense primary forest. It is one of the most talented climbers among the cats. Captive clouded leopards have been observed to climb down vertical tree trunks headfirst, and hang onto branches with their hind paws bent around branchings of tree limbs. They are capable of supination and can even hang down from branches only by bending their hind paws and their tail around them. When jumping down, they keep hanging onto a branch this way until the very last moment. They can climb on horizontal branches with their back to the ground, and in this position make short jumps forward. When balancing on thin branches, they use their long tails to steer. They can easily jump up to 1.2 meters, 3.9 feet, high. They use trees as daytime rest sites, but also spend time on the ground when hunting at night. Captive clouded leopards have been observed to scent mark by spraying urine and rubbing their heads on prominent objects. Their vocalizations include a short high-pitched meow call, a loud crying call, both emitted when a cat is trying to locate another one over a long or short distance. They prustin and raise their muzzle when meeting each other in a friendly manner. When aggressive, they growl with a low-pitched sound and hiss with exposed teeth and wrinkled nose. Radio-collared clouded leopards were foremost active by night but also showed crepuscular activity peaks. Clouded leopards recorded in northeast India were most active in the late evening after sunset. Home ranges have only been estimated in Thailand. Hunting and diet. When hunting, they stalk their prey or wait for the prey to come to them. After making and feeding on a kill, they usually retreat into trees to digest and rest. Their prey includes both arboreal and terrestrial vertebrates. Pakik presumed they are adapted for preying upon herbivorous mammals of considerable bulk because of their powerful build, long canines and the deep penetration of their bites. In Thailand, clouded leopards have been observed preying on southern pig-tailed macaque, Macaca nemestrina, Indian hogdare, Hyelaphus porcinus, Bengal slow lories, Nycticebus bengalensis, Asiatic brush-tailed porcupine, Atherurus macrourus, Malayan pangolin, Manus javanica, and Beardmore's ground squirrel, Manus birdmorii. Known prey species in China include barking deer and pheasants. Reproduction. Both males and females average 26 months at first reproduction. Mating usually occurs between December and March. Males tend to be very aggressive during sexual encounters and to bite the female in the neck during courtship, severing her vertebrae. With this in mind, male and female compatibility has been deemed extremely important when attempting breeding in captivity. The pair mates multiple times over the course of several days. The male grasps the female by the neck, and the female responds with vocalization that encourages the male to continue. The male then leaves and is not involved in raising the kittens. Estrus lasts 6 days on average. Estrus cycle averages 30 days. After a gestation period of 93 plus or minus 6 days, females give birth to a litter of 1 to 5, mostly 3 cubs. Initially, the young are blind and helpless, much like the young of many other cats, and weigh from 140 to 280 grams, 4.9 to 9.9 ounces. Unlike adults, the kitten's spots are solid, completely dark rather than dark rings. The young can see within about 10 days of birth, are active within 5 weeks, and are fully weaned at around 3 months of age. They attain the adult coat pattern at around 6 months, and probably become independent after around 10 months. Females are able to bear 1 litter each year. In captivity, they have an average lifespan of 11 years. One individual has lived to be almost 17 years old. Generation length of the clouded leopard is about 7 years. Threats. Many of the remaining forest areas are too small to ensure the long-term persistence of clouded leopard populations. They are threatened by habitat loss following large-scale deforestation and commercial poaching for the wildlife trade. Skins, claws, and teeth are offered for decoration and clothing, bones and meat as substitute for tiger in traditional Asian medicines and tonics, and live animals for the pet trade. Few poaching incidents have been documented, but all range states are believed to have some degree of commercial poaching. In recent years, substantial domestic markets existed in Indonesia, Myanmar, and Vietnam. In Myanmar, 301 body parts of at least 279 clouded leopards, mostly skins and skeletons, were observed in 4 markets surveyed between 1991 and 2006. 3 of the surveyed markets are situated on international borders with China and Thailand, and cater to international buyers, although clouded leopards are completely protected under Myanmar's national legislation. Effective implementation and enforcement of sites is considered inadequate. Conservation. Neofelis nebulosa is listed in CITES Appendix I and protected over most of its range. Hunting is banned in Bangladesh, China, India, Malaysia, Myanmar, Nepal, Taiwan, Thailand, and Vietnam. It is not legally protected outside Bhutan's protected areas. Hunting is regulated in Laos. No information about its protection status is available from Cambodia. These bans, however, are poorly enforced in India, Malaysia, and Thailand. The Formosan clouded leopard was a subspecies that became extinct in the 2000s. In the United States, the clouded leopard is listed as endangered under the Endangered Species Act, further prohibiting trade in the animals or any parts or products made from them. International Clouded Leopard Day is celebrated each year on 4th of August since 2018. Zoos and conservation organizations all over the world celebrate this day. In captivity. Clouded leopards have been kept in zoos since the early 20th century. The International Studbook was initiated in the 1970s. Coordinated breeding programs were started in the 1980s and encompassed the European Endangered Species Program, the Species Survival Plan, and the Indian Conservation Breeding Program. As of 2014, 64 institutions keep clouded leopards, including 6 zoos in India. Early captive breeding programs involving clouded leopards were not very successful, largely due to ignorance of courtship activity among them in the wild. Experience has taught keepers that introducing pairs of clouded leopards at a young age gives opportunities for the pair to bond and breed successfully. Males have the reputation of being aggressive towards females. Facilities breeding clouded leopards need to provide the female with a secluded, off-exhibit area. In March 2011, 2 breeding females at the Nashville Zoo at Grassmere in Nashville, Tennessee, gave birth to 3 cubs, which were raised by zookeepers. Each cub weighed half a pound, 0.23 kilograms. In June 2011, 2 cubs were born at the Point Defiance Zoo and Aquarium in Tacoma, Washington. The breeding pair was brought from the Khao Ko Open Zoo in Thailand in an ongoing education and research exchange program. 4 cubs were born at the Nashville Zoo in 2012. In May 2015, 4 cubs were born in Point Defiance Zoo and Aquarium. In culture. The Rukai people of Taiwan considered the hunting of clouded leopards a taboo. In the 1970s, the print of Rama Sumaravira's painting Clouded Leopard was a bestseller in the USA. The clouded leopard was the mascot for 2017 FIFA U17 World Cup. A clouded leopard is the antagonist of the 2003 fantasy animated feature film Rugrats Go Wild. Chrissy Hine provides the voice and vocal effects of the animal. Also, the 2017 Taiwanese furry visual novel video game Nekojishi features an anthropomorphic clouded leopard spirit. The clouded leopard also appears in the video game Far Cry 4. Leopard also appears in the video game Far Cry 4. Leopard also appears in the